Hello, here is an Osaka League game played on 3 handicap that white won by 14.5, but actually it could have been 15.5 because white can, instead of pass, white could play 06, and this is forcing black add another move inside. Otherwise there's a dame tsumari here. Nothing happens if black goes Atari L7. So for black, the last move should be 06, and then he saves another point. Therefore, when black cuts here, which is a complete neutral point, white can play 06, this Atari, it's nothing to bother, and then black has to go inside at p4, so he's losing one more point. Overall, this was a peaceful game, and well, black had its opportunities in the early stages, but later on, it just tends to be too conservative, therefore, white could win by a comfortable margin. So let's see from the beginning. We have a 3-4, very good idea, because the Josekis can be more complicated than Hoshi. Now, obviously, we can see black tries to play a very safe game with a corner enclosure in the top right, but actually, it's okay for black to attack the top left corner, either low or high, or any kind of corner approach, because this is a way for black to prevent the Shimari. Once black plays here, white can go for a Shimari in the top left corner. So already white has one corner. Well, black had the 3 corners from the start, but it's too easy for white to grab a corner like that. Anyway, white can attack any of the black corners. So the corner approach here is fine. So it's c6, which is gonna be next. This is fine, so black defends, white attacks again. So white is actually speeding up the Fuseki, which is something you want to do in a handicap game to make it kind of even after the Fuseki or towards middle game. So black plays a kick, but actually this kick, it's a bit questionable. Black could simply defend, because now when white extends back to c11, let's say, black is tempted to attack the stone on the right side. For example, pincer r9. Also, black can consider a pincer like c8, in which case white will take the Shimari, and then black can defend the corner f3 or extend again c11. In this case, white will go san-san, then this Joseki will end up center for black, and again, black can attack the stone on the right. This is the weakest stone white has on the board right now, so black can kick, for example, and then take away the extension, because black already has the corner defense in place. So, back to the original game. The modern kick from the AI era, which is played a lot in also in top professional games, but it's still kind of questionable because it leaves white an ideal extension here, 3 space jump. So now black is already center. Black can attack the top left corner, for example. Even if white pincers here, black already planned some RG in that area, so Tenuki it's an option, then attack the right side. But black decided to secure this lower left corner, so this is a little bit slow. It's true that after these exchanges, white cannot live in san-san anymore, and it creates some RG around b8, the clamp, or c8, but it's still kind of slow, because being the early stage of the game, there are so many open places on the board. For example, if pins are here, white needs to fix the corner like this. Let's say something like this happens, white is on the run, black extends, so white got the base on the right side, but mostly on the second line. Black develops nice the right moyo and the bottom in the process. So it's more interesting than playing a move like b6. If white comes in the corner, black can just allow the connection like this and still keeps most of the bottom side. So once black plays here, white has center to play another big point. Shoulder hit, quite artistic. Now, usually the ways black reacts to this shoulder hit, it's a block at 016, which is very common, in which case white can tenuki or simply play a 1 space jump. White wants to go for outside thickness with these moves. Then when black plays a wedge to create cutting points, white will atari, and then play a connection which is light and loose, either like this or this one. It can also be the solid connection, but most of the time you find a move that has some leathers involved, or it's more light. Black can also play the push the other side, n17, solid. White can jump again, then the wedge to create cutting points. Again, white can play a light defense, and then black can jump again to erase the top potential. But white is fine. White got some influence towards the center, then can grab another big point. And another way locally for black is to answer m18, because this one, it's a move that prevents the block at n17 and doesn't help white so much. Okay, it's on the second line, but still this n16 looks like floating next, so white will just leave it and approach the right side in that case. But if black wants to play with fighting spirit, a pincel like k16 is an option, because this is threatening the connection underneath. So obviously white will separate, then black will push once, white has to go up. Black can play a Kosumi to put more pressure on the 3 stones. White will jump out or turn. Then here black will secure the corner, and when white jumps in the center to save the or reinforce the top stones, black can just extend for a base towards the top area. So the shapes are good both for black and white, and black is fine to secure the corner and make the base in the top. It's similar to what happened in the game actually, but the pincer was a little bit loose. So here white still has the option to separate, but white can also play an extension from the top left corner, which takes away black's potential base. Then black has to come back and connect the stone somehow in the top. But here white can just leave it as it is and go for big points. Extend on the right side, for example. So white ignored. Tenuki, it's an option always. Then simply fix this corner. So far so good. And black extends towards the corner, which is okay for making a base in the top. White got the Shimari. Then this kind of connection. Now here actually, if black will look all over the board, it's more interesting to play a move like J4 or K4 and try to get a lot on the bottom side. Also, when black plays J4, J3 or K4, this prevents white's approach at H3. Now, if white separates the top, black will always push one time, then even take away the base like this. So white needs to turn to threaten the corner, black defends again, then white has to jump out to stay safe. And here black can go down. So overall, black has a big bottom side and 2 safe groups in the top. Then it's quite easy to invade the left side. For example, C13. So let's see what happened in the game. Now this wall space jump leaves cutting points. So locally, if black wants to connect the top, should be M18 or a push at N17. It's much stronger and a solid shape. When he plays the one space jump, white can immediately push and cut. So push, and now there are cutting points on the left and the right. So let's say white chooses to play the cut at M18. Now black has 2 options. Black can either take the stone or connect on the right side. If black connects on the right, white will start a ladder. And the ladder works fine because there's a white stone on the way on the left side. But of course black can think about some ladder breakers, for example E11. But even so, white will capture, so get a strong Ponuki in the top, and black has to continue in the lower left to make use of his ladder breaker, so probably just go down. But it's not such a big deal. I mean, white didn't suffer a big loss on the left side to allow that ladder breaker. When black comes here, white takes away the base, and having that Ponuki in the top, a strong formation, will also affect the top group and later on the top right corner. So that's an option. Now, if black captures a stone at L18, white can use this M18 as bait and cut the other side, then Atari, come out, and come out again. So this variation is pretty much forced. Now, black either takes a stone in the top or turns the direction like this, but I guess he will go for the top side, because once black captures this guy, he's all connected. Now, white can Atari from behind once to see whether black will take or turn. If black captures a stone, there's another Atari, and then either turn in the corner or turn like this, or simply connect this way. So, well, actually I will turn one way or the other. Black becomes a little over concentrated, accepting the squeeze. But if black turns here, then white has Atari from the right side and then connect Q17 or cover Q15, because when black cuts here, we have the ladder that comes in this direction. So for giving up the stones in the top, this one and these two and the other one, white gets to make a nice corner in the top right and separates q16. So this trade would be excellent for white, because in the top, black got a little bit korigatachi or over concentrated, or just too crowded with capturing all those stones, and so it's not very profitable for black. Therefore, white should think about using n16 right away, push and cut. So that's how you punish the one space jump. That's why we always see moves like push here or push this way or keima m18 to be much more safe for black. Now, this kind of submarine approach, normally you expect black to defend r16, then you extend back to the side, or when black blocks s16, you either wedge or you go up, and then again you play an extension on the side. Now, when black plays r15, obviously he wants to get more in the corner. So if you just pull back and he blocks s16, it's a gain for black already, because it's like going s16, and instead of moving up as white, white will go to the side, and this allows r15, so the shape is much nicer in the corner for black. So if this happens, white is pushed around a little bit, therefore white needs to go in the corner. On this Kosumitsuke, simply play the move that black wants to play. Don't let him get the nice point. Now, if black goes one space jump or nobi, you push one more time, and then you just take the sansan. So you give a little bit of outside influence, but you scoop out the corner. And this is a fine trade for white. If black blocks the corner with q17, the group is already alive, so nothing to worry about. You don't have to play there anymore, and you can reduce the influence. So, for example, play a move like this and a nobi, which creates more cutting points. Then keima, try to reach out to this stone, which is more a bait coming from the left. So what happens here, if black simply captures that stone, black invests lots of moves to capture this one, and in the meantime, white grows the potential and make a box on the left side. So black is not going to build too much using that wall. Therefore, it's good to take away the corner and then think about ways to reduce the influence. So the hane, obviously, black will block. If you push in the corner and black plays a one space jump, you can attach and go down, and the corner is alive. Even when black plays here, you don't have to do anything, or okay, you can turn once in center to prepare, to go for the double atari, but it's not necessary. The group is alive as it is, so just enter the bottom side. Now, if black tries this move, then you cut. If he goes down, double atari and catch a stone. So you lose the top, but you come out. Therefore, not so easy to attack that corner. So on this move, maybe white expected black to play here, then atari, then go down in the corner like this, and then come out. But black just blocks the corner. He wants the points in the corner. And here, yeah, atari it's an option, but usually you just connect, and then on the hane, you hane, when counter hane, peep in the corner, atari, extend, atari from behind. So you build a nice right side, but you gotta discard the cornerstones. So this is black's potential versus white right side. Now atari makes black super strong in the corner, no more peep, aji, and so on. And there are two cutting points on the right side. And for white, it's actually big to connect above, because there is still a lot of potential on the right, and you want to reach out to n16. So if your opponent goes hane, then nobi to separate that n16, you have a very nice right side coming up. When you extend, obviously he will cut up, because if he cuts down, and let's say you play atari and then connect, he doesn't gain so much on the right side, because he's on the second line mostly. So going up is good, then take the ponuki. So now this makes r11 feel over concentrated, and there is still an invasion point at r9, which means white needs another move here. So it was better to connect solid, and if black comes in, you can also play this kind of move or just push, because this creates cutting points again, then push along. You make a nice wall, and you make n16 work again, then cap. So he's coming out, he's busy, then there's potential in the middle. So more important to connect at q14. Very good for black to catch that stone and become strong. Now h3, it's a natural way to attack the bottom, because you want to slide and so on. But black played a little bit too conservative here. He's supposed to play the pincer at k3, and even if white goes e3 and connects, black is still safe in the corner. And this way, white doesn't damage so much in the bottom area. Besides, black is going for a little box with these moves 1 and 9. Compared to the actual game, where black was very soft to play f3 block and allows the extension, now the other group is in trouble, so black is supposed to go down to r2. Otherwise, when white captures q3, it's super big. So black comes in. White can actually capture here right away, because if something like this happens, black's group is on the run. We will see that soon. Now, defending like this, it's a little bit too conservative. You can play c15, and this way, c13 is still on the run, and you build a little more in the corner, like c16 becomes a territory point. Also, it's possible to play the Kosumitsuke, or to play the move on the second line at b14. Obviously, white wants to play a move to prevent the c16 follow-up. So, for example, if you just play here, black will try this move and then connect and take away the base. But in order to do that, it's good to play, for example, b14, because now, if black comes here, there's no way to connect to the left side. So he'll just die inside. Captured. And when you play a move like b14, this c13, it's weak. If black plays here, you can play a Kosumi and put the group on the run. If black comes out, you can go out between the stones. So the corner is already safe. You reduce the top side when you come out, and this e13, it's still on the run. So black has to jump again. Then you can put some pressure here. Then maybe a peep to make him heavy. Then a cap move. Or attack from the left to grow something in the center, while black is just running on neutral points to save his group. So it's important to defend more actively, because this kind of move is just a defense in Gote, more or less. So it leaves black more space to maneuver on the left side. For example, black can slide here, and then slide again, and jump out. So it's very easy for black to fix that group, because white was just too slack with c16. So black played the one space jump, which allows the block and is good for white. Han, it's also okay. Even double Han, it's an option here. You don't have to be afraid of Ataris. Even if black cuts like this, he still needs to come back. Then you can push one time, he has to go Nobi, and you can catch this stone in a net. Okay, the ladder works in the direction of L3, but it's also good to play the net, then push him towards the left side. This is a loose ladder capture. So you don't have to rely on the ladder and give him ladder breakers. But the Nobi is fine. Well, Hane, the double Hane, it's stressing the cutting point, and the idea is to get stronger in the center when you push black out, but he didn't even connect to the top. I mean, he needs another move here. And then you can play a peep and a tsuke. So the top will be reduced very fast. Anyway, the Nobi is not bad. He pushes again. And normally, white should just Nobi again. Now here there's a cutting point at d12. And in order to use that cutting point, you want to play a Hane on the second line. And when he blocks, you can use the Atari and come out. Therefore, when you play this kind of move, it's just a peep at the cutting point. So black connects and the Kataji disappears. And it's not necessary. The corner was strong anyway. So here, for example, white defends back. So white got pretty much two neutral points that don't really attack black in any way or threaten. So normally white can play c14 here. But in this case, black can go Atari or peep. Then on this Atari, he'll just Hane and go for the top side. So playing these moves, they are not profitable for white. It's more interesting for white to forget about that exchange and just Nobi here. Because it's good to stay ahead, don't allow the Hane, get some power in the center. And if black plays here, for example, you turn and you still reduce his potential coming from the outside. So those two moves, they were slack, and it's Ajikeshi. Now black jumps to protect, but black can actually play the Hane, because there's a problem with the cutting points. In fact, this Hane will be played soon. So when black connects like this, white should just no-b. Oh, that's a trick shot. No-b here, it's still important. Black might push again, and then a keima. So this kind of move, it's a little bit risky. In some position, it's very nice because you can hane left, right, and get something, either leave under. But in this case, if black simply pulls back, and you try to continue with the hane, then the push, then another hane, obviously, black is not going to block this way because you have Atari and capture. And you can use the idea of that N16 stone, but black can just connect. And in order to leave, you want to make more space by pushing to the right and the left. And actually this shape is just that. Because no matter how you play, he will go Atari, Atari again, then hane. So it's not enough space to make two eyes. And if you try to make eyes like this, you'll just hit the vital point, then push inside. So it's still one eye. This is how the Tsumego works, but black was not able to read that out. So black just blocked, and now white kind of tricked him to take away the base. Here, black should just go up. And then when white covers, he can try this move, Kosumi, and now it's difficult to connect to the left side. Because there is no more Atari and Atari from behind and so on. And just two liberties left. So black had to no-b, but black played the double hane. Now in this case, white can capture Atari and take one stone. Then black will cover like this. And here, white can push, then capture a stone, and it's already alive. If black plays this one, you don't even have to answer anymore, because when black cuts, you go down, and when black takes the hane, you go Kosumi. So you have already two eyes. So taking one stone can give you eye shape, and it's more damage. Atari and catch. Now white connects here, black defends too, and white tries to link under. In this position, there can be a co-fight, so black can hane, Atari, and the only way for white to fight is to go Atari or a double Atari, and then another Atari from behind. But this leads to a co-fight. And well, black can capture those stones. So for example, black plays here a co-threat, takes back, and when black takes back like this, it's already Atari. So when white connects, black connects, and white 4 stones in the top are already captured. This is a disaster, but if white plays a co-threat and black doesn't answer, let's say white plays here to take away the base for this group, black can capture another stone. So now the top is dead, black will follow up on the lower right to gain some compensation, but when black jumps in the corner may die too. So all of a sudden, all these became black. It's huge, like a quarter of the board. So black was not aware of the co-fight and just pushed. Actually, black doesn't have to do anything. Think about the call later. For example, hane here and so on. The thing is, if white adds another move here to prevent the co-fight, black still doesn't have to do anything in that area and play other moves. So it was slow for white to connect. But once black pushes here, white defends, and then the problem is solved. It's an ajikeshi, no more ko, and black plays to expand the center. Now this block with hane, it's a little bit dangerous. White should play a one space jump. And then if black goes no-b, white is already safe on the right side, so white can come from the, safe on the left to come from the right and reduce the center. Now if black plays here, then white can block and reduce coming from the middle. So on the hane, white also hane. Black played Atari, but it's more interesting to play the double hane or to play a hane on the second line, and when white blocks, black can cut this way, go out, threatening to catch the 2 stones. If white captures one, there's a squeeze play, and that's quite annoying. And if white just jumps here, then black can double hane. Now if white cuts, black has the squeeze like this, and again it's painful because everything may die inside. And if white extends, black can no-b, white needs to connect this way. So black is already strong enough in the center by giving up the 2 stones, and then expand the middle with a move like this, which is also threatening the invasion on the right side. So let's imagine something like this happens. Look how big the box is for black all of a sudden. So this would be a black win, but black plays Atari, another Atari. So this makes white strong and eliminates all the weakness. Then black connects back with a solid move, which is kind of proper. Actually, black can also go straight and then fight. But yeah, it's proper to connect against the cut. And now, yeah, this capture is big. But for white, it's interesting to go inside coming from the right. Because obviously, black is strong on the left. And now his only way to grow the moyo is to play moves on the right. So you should go inside from the right side. But this capture is big. Yeah, very good tactic for black to go down and then play 2 forcing moves. But yeah, his group still needs some help. So now he's all safe. And the way to come inside is still from the right. The turn here would be actually quite sente because he's threatening the bottom group again. Black might jump or hane, then you lean on his group a little bit and then you jump in. So this will also grow the territory on the right side while reducing the top. So that's a simple way. This is a bit risky. It's threatening a cut, but when black just defends, there is almost no gain. It's a move that's played inside and it might get lost. So it's still more interesting just to come from the right. Oh, the way black connects, it's an empty triangle and quite ugly. Tiger mouth will connect to f15 and it's more effective because it's also taking away liberty. So this is a bit risky, but in the end it worked out okay for white. White is trying to reach out to this n16, but if black plays with fighting spirit, let's say a peep here threatening the cuts, where you just defend and then shoulder hit coming from behind, trying to catch everything here, so use the wall in order to push those stones into the thickness, then it's dangerous for white. Like this, black wants to separate and just kill n16 on a small scale, so white can push, then turn like this, for example, and jump out, and damage is done. Yeah, this push was okay. Turn, it's also okay. That's too much. Black should play a one space jump here. White will connect. If black separates, white comes out. And that's it. So damage is done. This is where white won the game. But here we have a ladder coming up soon. Oh, it didn't work directly. Actually, it does. So Atari, Atari, and another Atari. Then the ladder goes this way. Some sort of spinning ladder. Oh no, I'm wrong. It doesn't work. Uh-oh. Back to the game. Yeah, my bad. Needs a preparation. So it was very good to play the Kema. Difficult. This ladder sometimes can be tricky. Yeah. So white feels good to live inside here. It's pretty much game over. Actually, that jump is not necessary. You better play Kosumi like this, and a jump or a Kema like this, or a jump in the middle to keep the bottom group safe. But okay, this one is threatening the stones in the center. But in fact, black is not that weak. He can make an eye on the left, and also in the center try to connect to the other stones. Yeah, this shape is good. That's fine. Just catch the stone. Make eye shape like this. Because now black can play Atari under and Kosumi. So he's scooping out all the bottom territory. It's true white it's alive and connected, but no points. But anyway, white has plenty of points right now. So it's a difficult game for... yeah, that's a minus. Should just play shoulder hit, white defense. The end game, it's not easy for black this time. This can be Sente, Kosumi. Yeah, Kosumi here. What else? This one, white just blocks. The clamp can be an option. White needs to play this. This can be a problem. Actually, not that big. Yeah, black has to resign the game now. Nothing to do to come back, but playing this move inside the right is just losing points. So, yeah, easy mission for white now. Kosumi here is very big still. Everything is Sente. Then cut or push and cut. In fact, it also works to play all this in center, then just push and take the stone like that. Because if black blocks here, you kill more. Playing like this leaves the hane. So now when you try to cut, he has Atari and capture. That was pretty big too. Yeah, very good to go down. Then the Kosumi. So white got everything centered here. Nice. All centered there too. Yeah, pretty good endgame this time. Fine. Good timing to play the Atari first, then defend. The connection can be solid because there are eye shapes in the corner and less quadrants here. Yeah, same for black. Just connect S17. He doesn't need eye shape to go S18. He's just leaving this quadrat and this one. Or if he connects solid, when white plays a quadrat here on this move, white can go out anyway. And again. So it's not worth giving those threats. Same in this corner, better connect solid because there are eye shapes from D2. So this move again leaves a quadrat, unnecessary. And that's pretty much it. Oh wait, on the right, white can capture this stone. If black goes down, white just connects, so that's a minus. And if black plays here, now white captures. So that's more points because now black can connect this stone. It's not that it matters much because now white is comfortably ahead. So far, so good. So a pretty solid game for white this time. Well done on this one.